want to congratulate North Texas. They did a good job. I thought if you told me we held them to 39% from the field and 25% from three, that we would have been in a great position. I thought our defense traveled again, both yesterday and today. The 27 free throws was a big differentiator. At the same time, I would say the bigger differentiator was transition points. They were a plus 11 there. And they were able, for a team that normally slows it down, to really run it down our throat. And I thought that was a really big deal. Stevenson was comfortable. You can't let a best player get off. And then lastly, I would just say there were some moments where they were just a tougher team on the glass. And you got to compliment that. Toughness is really important this time of year, and they were all a bit of that. So I'm disappointed just in this sense. Like, there was a point when we were healthy, 6-1 and really thriving, and we've been handling injuries for quite some time. And I just thought a healthier version of us probably would have gotten or deserved a little bit more than this. So I'm sad for my guys more than anything. You look at the top 3 or 4 teams, they had the same starting lineup and the same top 8 the whole year long, and we have not had that. And in some regard, I'm sad for my guys. In other regards, I want to just say how proud of them I am, just because the constant fight. We probably lost a handful of games by 3 points or less, and it defined our season. And when injuries and close possession games end up defining your season, the heart of who your kids are don't get to show as much. They deserve more. Isaiah Elohim is one of them that deserved more. 20 points today, 8 rebounds. What he's been since our injury bug hit right about the Memphis game at Memphis has been incredible. I think just one of the special kids I've ever got to coach, and he's not the only one. Kanan was out there today basically with a separated shoulder playing the whole time. I don't know that we get this through the season. No one's healthy right now, 100%, but our guys, some of them just gave everything they could just so we could have a close version of who we could be. I'm hoping for retention, but more than anything, I'm hoping on Sunday for a chance to play again in a postseason tournament. I know it won't be the NCAA, but hopefully we'll continue to get going. So any questions you have?
We have someone on the phone.
Richard, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, it was a valiant effort throughout the second half trying to make the big plays on both sides of the ball. Some worked and some didn't. What were your thoughts on how competitive this team was down the stretch, even though it just ended up working in the end tonight?
Yeah, I thought the first media, we were everything we wanted to be, and then we kind of hit a wall. We were lucky enough to close out the first half with some juice and get it close enough to where we felt like, we were in striking distance. We went zone. Some because of their shooting percentage, but some because, like, at a certain point, 22 free throws in the first half. If they're going to call the game a certain way, we've got to adjust. We didn't want them to win the game at the free throw line. We wanted them to win it from having to take shots. And so that zone stretch, I thought, really helped us. And then we went back to our man, which, to be honest, was good. It's been really good for us. Last game, we held Temple. It was one of our best defensive performances. So the ability to kind of go through those runs, there was positives, like you're saying. I just don't think it was sustained enough. And then we have these odd moments where we cut it to 2 or 4, and then we end up just giving up a transition thing. I think the turnovers that led to transitions just were painful, because every time we seemed to figure something out, just one of those popped us in the worst way.
Isaiah, you obviously led the team scoring with 20 points and 8 rebounds, as Coach mentioned. With Kanan having an off night with the injury he was dealing with, you stepped up to the plate on offense. What are your thoughts on how you were able to find your way to make the shots and keep the team within a close margin against the Mean Green?
Well, I just tried to do everything that I could to help us win. And I thought we had some dry spots on offense, so I tried the best that I can to try and score and keep the game close, but it didn't really lead to a win. So there's just things that I have to get better at, and there's obviously some things that I have to look into when we look at film and stuff like that. But it was just extremely valiant team effort with all the injuries that we had, and I'm just supremely proud of my guys, and I'm proud that Jakus is my coach. He gave me a second chance, so I'm very thankful.
Justin, we'll go to you.
Hey, Coach, I know you briefly mentioned retention there at the start. The last 2 seasons, your first 2 go-arounds with the portal and all that, it kind of was a tough go bringing guys back. Obviously, given the potential that this particular team had, how will some of those conversations go in terms of trying to retain guys like Isaiah and Kanan and Devin and so on?
We're going to give it a crack. I think we'll get some back. I want to thank Dev and Nico and Amar and Max and Liam. And I know a lot of people say we struggle with retention. That might be true. We lose guys that make more money someplace else than maybe our whole budget. And I understand that that's part of the new dynamic of the sport. I'm not going to complain about that. But I'm also not going to be a victim about it either. We had 5 guys say yes. And I think we're going to have more than 5 guys say yes this time around. And I think we're going to have some of the starters say yes this time around. And I think you'll be pleased with that. But I just think right now we're going to probably mourn this because we're going to miss this season. I just think our president and athletic director have stepped up in a couple ways. And then we've had some donors and businesses in the area do the same. So I'm incredibly hopeful. But I'm not going to compare last moments with this one. I think this team has a pretty special dynamic. And my guess is we're going to have more than 5 back.
Thanks, Coach.
Richard, go ahead.
Isaiah obviously had a very big jump from last year to this year, going from a bench role at USC to a full-time starting job with FAU. You've made a lot of strides in your game on both sides of the ball. What are some things that you're looking into, whether or not you get postseason play, to help yourself get better while trying to help the team get better as a whole for the future?
I think just my motor on both sides of the ball. It can be inconsistent at times. As far as defensively, just being more present in help side and stuff like that, being more present in gaps, so I can ultimately be a plus defensively. And then offensively, there's just some things I got to tweak, like free throws or off the dribble threes. But other than that, the grand scheme is more defensive stuff for sure.
And Coach, back-to-back winning seasons, despite the loss tonight, back-to-back winning seasons, and whether or not you get a postseason bid to the NIT and such, what are some things that you can do to bolster the roster and the personnel and the coaching staff as well to give yourselves a stronger chance at what you can be next season and beyond?
Yeah, I think the first thing is probably retention. The second thing is we had 7% of our scoring back. We were 350th in Division I experience. And for 2 years, we've had the freshman of the year back-to-back. And we've also had the most improved player. Last year it was Trey, and this year it was Dev Vanderpool. I would just say that those are probably the 2 awards that have something to do with player development, and we've won those back-to-back. So when you ask a question about my staff, I'm going to tell you my staff has done nothing but absolutely kill it. Isaiah, right. 2 points for less at USC. He's averaging 13 to 15, almost 17 in the last month. When you go from what guys were to what they become when they're with us, I would say we're one of the best player development staffs in the country. There's a reason people pay a lot of money to steal our guys. Right. The second thing I'm going to say is when it comes to being critiqued for the portal and all that, we're going to get there. Okay? And I'm not going to tell you how we're going to get there, but we have a plan. And I'm just telling you, we're going to have more retention than we did last year. And I don't think there's anybody who would look at us and say if we were able to bring those guys back that we don't know what it means to find some talent.
Right.
And obviously Trey was first team All Big East. We love him. Baba first team All Big 12. We love him. Matas one of the most improved players in the SEC. I could keep going on. So when it comes to the ability to find talent and make it better when everybody else overlooked it, I think we're as good as anybody. But I know your question is fair, and it resounds around how long can we keep them. And I'm just going to say with all my heart, we're going to do our best. And I'm telling you, there's some people that are going to help. And just give us 6 weeks. But right now, I want to see if we can play again, all right?
Sounds good. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, have a great night. Thanks for all your questions.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.